REED-BBS. BBS. Welp, to the surprise of no one, Jaron Boots Ennis stops David Avanesyan. He got him just a smidge prior to the 6th round. He beat out Bud Crawford in the who KO'd Avanesyan the quickest sweepstakes. Boots edged him out at the finishing tape right before the buzzer. Right after Boots dropped Avanesyan in the 5th round with a beautiful catch and shoot left hand. More on that in a second. He dropped Avanesyan. Possibly broke my man's jaw and shit from what I'm reading on websites and whatnot. So after that, then he was beating the shit out of him. And Avanesyan's corner stopped the fight in between rounds. So it was a 5th round stoppage at the end of the 5th, technically, since the 6th round never started. Boots Ennis defends his IBF title, the one that he was gifted. Call him an email champion if you want to. People did it to Dev too until he became undisputed. It is what it is. Fight itself, it was workmanlike by Boots standards. It was workmanlike. He certainly wasn't. It wasn't like he wasn't impressive. You know, he did his thing. It was just by his own admission, his timing was off. He didn't think his timing was gonna be off, but it definitely was. That tells you there's something to be said for actual fights, because by all accounts, Jaron Boots Ennis, he lives clean. He's a gym rat to the highest power. Motherfucker always in the gym. He'll be in the gym Monday for some damn reason. Whether it's just to stay sharp, whether it's to help somebody else who has a fight coming up in his gym, in his stable. He's always in the gym. So in that sense, you would think, well, hell, he's always ready. But there's no substitute for the bright lights, for a live crowd, TV cameras and shit, you know. Sparring is controlled. You can spar the greatest dudes ever in a controlled environment. You could have some Bam Rodriguez, Chocolatito, Gonzalez level sparring all you want to. But put them motherfuckers under them lights, it's going to be a different situation than practically any of their sparring sessions. That's just what that was. So Boots, yeah, his timing was a little off. Understandably so. I mean, he ain't fought since damn near a year ago. Or it might have been just over a year ago. The Roy Monvia fight, whenever that was. It was damn near a year ago or more than a year ago, whatever the case may be. Right out the gate, there was a huge size difference between Boots and Avanesyan. Like, they looked every bit of 2 weight classes different. And I ain't talking height neither. We knew Boots would be taller. My man's thighs, his calves, his arms were thicker and longer. His back was wider. He's just a bigger man all around. And it was a noticeable difference from even their weigh-in just the day before. I mean, guys gained weight, obviously, after the weigh-in, but it was before they even threw a punch at each other. Ding! Round 1 toes. The bell for round 1 toes. As soon as they squaring up, I was like, damn. The fight itself, if you watch Bud stop Avanesyan, the way the fight played out, Boots' fight was very similar. Avanesyan came out with the high guard. He was looking for the catch and shoot opportunities like I spoke of in my pre-fight video. He's got the high guard, so whenever you shoot a shot at him, if you catch whatever arm you catch your shot on or catches that shot, Avanesyan has a tendency to fire back. As soon as you touch his arm, whop, he's answering back with a shot. He was trying this with Boots as well. So like Crawford did, Boots started attacking the body mightily. He was landing some thudding shots. And I mean, it was until probably the knockdown, the left hand that dropped Avanesyan, the best shots may have been to the body. They just may have been. Yeah, it was like that. He was piecing Avanesyan up to the head, but the body, it was thudding. And he brought the guard down eventually. It worked. Also like the Bud fight with Avanesyan, Boots, his defense was lacking. Now we can say It was intentional because he knew Avanesyan couldn't hurt him, and he couldn't hurt him. He landed way more shots than I wanted him to, but none of them hurt or bothered Boots in the least. So again, while he hasn't just fought like a Mike Tyson level puncher per se, he's getting hit, and he's not showing any queasiness. He's not his character doesn't change by taking a shot. So he ain't tripping on getting hit, which you would expect from a Philly fighter, but you still have to see that. You still have to see that sometimes. Now, it's funny to hear criticism. Now people saying defense is a liability of Boots's. So which is it? I mean, Shakur Stevenson don't get touched. He's called a boring runner. Then Boots Ennis hangs in the pocket a little longer, sits back, admires his work a little bit too long. He catches a lot of shots. I would dare say he probably got hit more in this fight with Avanesyan than in any other fight. Again, he wasn't hurt, but he was hit. Could he tone up and tighten up the defense against a higher caliber opponent? Probably. But in theory, you would like to practice what you preach. So go ahead and practice defense so that you don't have to worry about if your defense will be there when needed. I don't know. Just my thoughts on it. I wasn't tripping. It made for a better fight, a more compelling fight. And again, Boots wasn't the least bit deterred, so who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? Eddie Hearn is talking about bringing Boots right back, October, November. And he would love to return to Philadelphia, where, according to stats, according to every report I'm reading, it was almost 15,000 fans. 15,000. Like 14,900 and something asses in seats. The largest Philly fight crowd since Marvelous Marvin Hagler, in my Chuck Hull voice. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Since Marvelous Marvin Hagler beat Benny Briscoe. So at home, we know Boots is a draw at the crib. And that's where it starts. Build it at home. Which just takes me back to the whole PBC thing and their lack of promotion with Boots. He was just sitting over there on the shelf, and they're gonna rue the day that they didn't pay more attention to him and push him more. Eddie Hearn, he's in the right place with Eddie Hearn. People can say what they want about Eddie Hearn. He recognizes the talent that he has, and he's going to promote him accordingly. I can't wait to see it. And here's the thing Eddie Hearn got that ain't nobody else got. Eddie Hearn got the relationship with His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh, who after the fight, he gave Boots a shout out, liked his performance, and he said he will begin in earnest trying to make Boots versus Bud Crawford. Everybody says, hey man, yeah, it'll be a good fight. Can't pay Bud enough, man. Ain't enough money in Boots. Well, with His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh, there'll be enough money in Boots to make it worth the while. It also tells me Canelo don't want to fight Bud, which you can't blame him for that. But Canelo, fight Bud or fight Benavidez. Like, can you fight somebody instead of fucking Eubank Jr. or Berlanga? Like, please. But I digress. Boots, yeah, he looked good. He was alright. I'd give him a B+. He wasn't bad at all. In his own words, his timing was off, and he kind of looked like it. But yeah, keep him sharp, keep him fresh, get him back in the ring. I like the Blair Cobb fight for him next, honestly, because Blair Cobb talking it up. He was talking it up after the fight. So, yeah, make that one happen next. Blair Cobb is very easy to negotiate with. It ain't like Don King got leverage. Don King fighters can't come to the negotiating table making no demands at all. I would like to see Blair Cobb next. Who would you like to see Boots Ennis in the ring with next? Let me know. Subscribe, comment. Remember, sharing is caring. Love tap and or bitch slap that like button for your boy. Shout out to the homies at fightbeat.com. REED-BBS, BBS. Blackbird Sugar, Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. Television, Fred Sanford of the Fistic Arts. When all is said and done, there's nothing left to say or do.